open all the stuff I need. And then it will open later. So, yeah, the title of the talk is quite explicit because it's Agent Building Agents, and it tried to explore an intersection of two very important trends that the software development industry is facing recently. And it's the two ways the AI is affecting the software developer work. And this AI is changing how we build, and the AI is changing what we build. The how we build is something that maybe some of you are experienced in work in the coding industry. A lot changed in the last year, basically, because in late 2025, in December 2025, where the most capable models were released by companies like Anthropic and OpenAI, these tools, the coding agent tools, started to become a really useful tool. They started really working in right, reliable code. That was the real shift, because before the models released in that period, these coding agents were just, I don't want to say a toy, but they are useful only to work on very limited tasks, very simple code implementation, maybe single functions. And with Opus 4.5, basically, and GPT-5, these kind of tools became very powerful, and now, as a software developers, and I am a real example of this trend, because I am embracing this new way of work at full speed. I'm now a new collaborator that recently joined my company, and we two, me and this collaborator, are working with roughly 2-3 coding agents in parallel the entire day. So we are now basically, we can compare ourselves with a team of 4 or 5 people. And this is something that really scares most of developers I'm talking to, because it's a very profound change in the way we work, in the way we worked for the last 20 years. And it's also very controversial. Recently, I saw on YouTube a lot of videos of very important personalities speaking about this change in the software development industry that were booed, basically, from their audience, mostly very young audience, because young people are scared the most about this change in this way developers work. And the other change that it's happening in parallel is what we build is changing, because in late 2024, in the beginning of 2025, as software developers, we are the first that are exposed to these kind of technologies and changes. And as software developers, we're the first that understood that this kind of technologies can not only be used to empower our everyday work, but we also can use this technology to build a completely new class of software products and integrations. Because AI agents are not only coding agent or the product that, that the company building this technology are making available to us, but agentic software is something that we can now build inside our software products or software applications to provide a completely new user experience to our customers. So the question was, what if an agent can build an agent? Because at the end of the day, it's the same skill. When we start learning how these kind of technologies work using these tools, the coding agent, the AI interfaces that we have available, the chatbots, we are just learning how this technology works, and the next step for software developers is how to use the technology to leverage the same features, the same capabilities to start building something new in our software products. So, I prepared a live coding session that I want to show you in real example how this is possible. And we use two tools to do this demo. On one side, we have the coding agent, so the agent responsible to write code and to build this new system, the software. I use Cloud Code because it's my preferred tool, but there are plenty of them with different features, capabilities, open source, closed source, so you have a lot of choices. And on the other side, we need a framework, a coding framework that help us to build these entities with the help of the coding agent I'm going to use. So in this case, I use the Neuron AI framework. It's the most important agentic framework in the PHP ecosystem. It's kind like something LangChain from the Python ecosystem. Maybe someone of you already heard about LangChain. It's the most used agentic framework in the world, but it's on the Python programming language. So Neuron AI was built basically on PHP vertical, so PHP developers can integrate agentic systems, agentic features into their application thanks to this framework. It offers a lot of abstractions, agent entities, tools, toolkits, memory, all the components, all the features that are needed to build a complete agentic system. So I'm Valerio. I'm the CTO of this product company, Inspector.dev, that is an agentic application monitoring system based in Naples, but we have no customers in Italy, hundreds of customers in more than 40 countries. And, jump into the code. So, okay, this is the, make it bigger. This is the project that now I have opened in my code environment. Okay, this project was built entirely by Cloud Code. I have registered a video of this coding, the first coding session, because at live events, make connection, there are a lot of things that can go wrong. So I registered this short video to allow you to see this process ongoing, and then we can jump into the code and start working on the project with live coding and Cloud Code, really. So just a bit of information in advance. So this is the documentation of the Neuron AI framework, and this framework offers the ability to make coding agent able to work effectively with the framework itself. using skills. So maybe using this kind of agentic tools, you already heard about skills. You are able to create all the instructions that help the agent to work with your stuff, basically. It can be also legal tasks, or in this case, are just coding abilities. And the framework ships with this bunch of agentic skills that you can install in your project to help the coding agent write reliable code using this framework. So in this video, I just started, it's basically copy and paste the commands from the Neuron AI documentation. I install the skills into the project, the Neuron Test Engineer, Neuron Tool Creator. Okay, so skills are installed. I open Claude Code. And in Claude Code, I passed this prompt that it's basically the prompt I prepared to instruct the coding agent to build the project I want to build. And in this example, it's basically a business intelligent agent. So I want to build an agentic entity that is able to talk with your database. Maybe you have an e-commerce application or whatever, a database is behind any kind of software or application. So I just tell the agent to build this kind of agent that is able to talk with a database. So in this case, a SQLite database with, I give the agent a bunch of instruction, for example, to use, here it is, to use Anthropic as AI provider, because on Neuron Framework, you can connect basically all kind of AI providers to power your agent with their models. So it's enough to copy and paste this prompt into the coding agent. Now here you can see I switch to auto mode. So in this way, the agent doesn't ask to me permission to read file, write file, just give you, by the purpose of the video, I don't interact at all with this coding session powered by Claude Code. So I move the video forward because now it's all about Claude Code ingesting and writing code. So it's now writing the SQLite schema tool that it's basically what the agent needs to first understand the schema of the database that it should read from. Moving a little forward, now it's creating the business intelligence agent, so the agent entity itself, connecting all the tools. Okay, it's now doing just some check. Move a little bit forward. Okay, now fixing something. The coding agent just continue to treat the code. The syntax, if all PHP files are right correctly. Now here is trying to test. It's calling the agent to see if it works. And at the end of the day, everything works end to end. Here is the summary, and the task was done. So the result of this coding session is exactly this project that I have here in my code environment. So I can now open my terminal. go into the project directory. I called it Neuron BI instead of Neuron AI, like a business intelligent agent, because it's now able to talk with the database. So I can just ask agent, what are the top products? Sorry? Yeah, okay. Thank you. It's Monday morning. What are the top products per month, or the top product, the top maybe 3 products, just to query strictly per month? So we just launch this question to this PHP agent. We'll see what it answers. Okay, I'll tell you. The first tool call is the analyze the database schema. That it's a tool. Now we are going to see everything in the code. Then it run a select. It talk to the database to extract some data, and based on the data it gathered, it's able basically to give us all the statistics and everything we want to extract from the database, and everything it's in natural language. So jumping into the code, we see here in the tools directory that we have a bunch of tools that we saw the agent use to perform this task. It's the SQL schema tool, where the agent is able to understand the database schema in order to be able to create the right select statement to talk to the database and extract data from. Now, the problem of most agentic system, when you start building agent yourself, you face with a lot of limits that these models has per its nature. They are stateless, so there's no way these models are able to remember the ongoing conversation you are taking with it. So if I ask the agent, what are we talking about? Yeah, but they are smart enough. Okay. He should answer that it has no idea. So okay, we haven't started talking about anything. Okay, so now I open Cloud Code and I ask Cloud Code, add file chat history to the agent, storing messages in the history directory. So now we leave Cloud Code do its job, and in the meantime, okay, I switch to auto mode here too, so I have no need to constantly, okay, 2 minutes, we are done. So what we are doing now is asking Cloud Code to basically add memory to this agent, because the framework, the Neuron AI framework, has this kind of components that you can add to your agent, that it's basically store the ongoing conversation into a single component, and you can use different kind of storage system connected to the agent. In our example, we are going to use a simple file, but you can connect the memory of the agent with SQL databases or maybe other framework-specific integrations. me see where it's going, so handle state, so the agent support, okay, is going to write some code. Okay, it's adding some code to the agent entity to make it work. Here's finally found the file chart history component. It's mostly because we already installed the skills of the agent at the beginning of the project, so the coding agent knows basically everything about the framework, all components, how to use them. It's quite done. We see, and then we are able to talk again. It works. Let me create tests. Okay, but I think we don't need tests. Okay, it's done. Exit. Clear. And now I first ask the agent the same question we sent before. So what are the topics, just to extract some information from the database. It starts again to calling tools, running a query against the database, and extract all the information. But now, if I ask, what are we talking about? The agent now has memory of what we are talking with it. So, thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Valerio. I'm sorry, but
That's okay.
we don't have so much time.
Any
question? Any question to Valerio?